Should we have a cup of tea?
Check out the mayor's office.
Is
5-minute recess.
is Joe Byrne here from? Yeah, Joe, we may not start it right now. We'll just having a look at. I know other councillors did want to be here and are probably on their way. So if you just wait a minute, we'll just check out where we are.
I do have an appointment at 12 o'clock, unfortunately.
Joe, in that case, Joe, why don't you just start? We're very pleased to hear you. Yes.
Good morning. I'm here on behalf of the Flockton Cluster Residents Group.
Sorry, Pauline? No, look, I think people are being informed that Jo is making a deputation. She's asked for it to proceed because she's got a time constraint too.
I'm terribly sorry. I thought I'd be finished by now. I'm here on behalf of the Flockton Cluster Residents Group. We've got over 170 people on our mailing list, probably over 150 families living in our area and the streets listed up here. We've also got other people across the city who are also affected by flooding. Just a happy reminder of what we've been through in the last 4 years, the way we've been living. On behalf of our group, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to the amazing staff at the council who have been helping us through this hideous process. You know, the drainage staff, the communication staff, the support team at the council have done a fabulous job with our community, and we really support their honest and transparent communication with us because there's been a lot of difficult things for us to have to deal with, and we appreciate that. Right, so over 150 families, and there's no clearly preferred majority position within the group. Some of our worst affected residents still favour retreat. You know, they just want to be able to move on with their lives. A lot of residents have said that they lack confidence in their proposed drainage works. Some of the modelling we've seen shows 10 centimetres less water in, say, Carrick Street in a major event. For a lot of houses, that water will still be through their homes. For residents, that's not a solution. I see in the latest release, it looks like it may actually be better than that, but you know, people still need to feel safe in their homes. One of the things residents had some concern about was the accuracy of the floor level data that has been used by the council, and we believe we're spending over $50 million in Christchurch to remediate flooding in our area. We should be getting really accurate floor level data. Residents have said that they're really happy to open homes so that accurate surveying can be done. One of the huge issues for our area is that the proposed flooding works won't improve the groundwater table. You know, the earthquakes have made that incredibly high. You know, when it's wet, we've had a good dry stretch at the moment, but when it's wet, you know, the water table's just below the ground, and the drainage works aren't going to help that. What's positive is that the enhanced option 2 will have some positive effects on some groups, like people in Edgware Hills Road. So that's really great to see. But, you know, we want to know what's going to be done for our residents who remain at risk of flooding and high-frequency rain events. You can't live with the ongoing risk of flooding in a 2 or 3 year rain event. It's just a nightmare. A lot of residents said they still preferred option 1 because it was future-proofed. It could cope with more events. God knows what they might be, hopefully not. But that, you know, that did provide that ability. But we have been told that this does have the ability to have pumps added at a later date if necessary.
So, Joe, time-wise is another 2 minutes.
That's fine, I'll be done. Okay, the other issue, targeted rates was suggested in the first report. I see that's now going to be targeted rates across the city, which is not a popular option, of course, with the rest of the city. But we really believe that targeted rates on an already vulnerable group of residents would be just tragic. And who should be paying for this? Ironically, the declaratory judgment was released this morning. Doesn't look that hopeful, but it's more progress. And I think for the people in our area, it's a big picture solution, really. You know, how do we manage flooding issues across the city? We need consensual requirements to protect homeowners. You know, people have had shoddy foundation work done on their homes through insurers that hasn't lifted their houses to a safe area. which has left an ongoing burden on the city, which is wrong. You know, residents are unable to raise land because of resource consent requirements. If we were able to do that, we'd have more options to protect ourselves. Long-term outcomes, you know, we want to be able to live in a safe, dry, warm home, just like anybody else in Christchurch. Hazard notices, things like that. We've got all these things that we don't know what's actually going to happen to us. We're still making some decisions without enough information. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jo. Jo, can I just ask you a question in relation to the report where there's a reference to the, I think it's the Warden Street cut-through,
Right.
proposed cut-through, just what your views are around that?
That's another thing that we feel very sorry for is the residents further down Dudley Stream. You know, the fact that this is going to impact hugely on their environment. You know, we know what it's like to live in your home when it's been impacted by something negative, and we don't want that for anybody. And I really like the idea of the council continuing to look at different options for drainage and water retention areas. And I think, you know, if central government was to make some of the red zone land area available, maybe that will give us more options. But again, you know, that's something else out of the council's control, but would actually help in this whole decision-making process.
Thank you, Jo. Other questions from councillors? Your submission has been really clear and we've got a full report too. So, Jo, thank you very much for your deputation and giving us your views and your PowerPoint points.